Hey everyone, today we're taking a look at replacement recoil spring assemblies from Galloway Precision. I've got two here that arrived in the mail this week. One is a 25% extra power recoil spring assembly for the XDS 45. The other is a 10% extra power for the Glock 42. Now, what we want to test today is make sure that we can run these without having any impact on reliability. Both of these firearms were reliable prior to swapping these out with these new springs. Why you would want to put these in there, the extra power, what that does is it makes it more difficult for the slide to cycle. And instead of the recoil coming right back into your hand, what it's going to do is that spring is going to absorb more of that recoil energy. That's the way mechanics work. What goes out the front has to come at the back, and usually it gets absorbed by your hand or the recoil spring assembly in the gun. Spear Gold Dot 200 grain plus P. I find these to be pretty brutal on recoil, particularly out of this Springfield. What I'd like to do is go ahead and run 5 rounds before and then 5 rounds after and see if it really does lessen the recoil, or at least my perception of it. I also want to do some velocity testing and see if these extra power recoil spring assemblies keep the slide locked just a tiny fraction of a second longer and potentially increase the velocity that you get from the ammunition. For the Glock, it's pretty much a sweetheart on recoil, but I'd like to put the extra power in and see if it'll still cycle my ammunition of choice, which is the Spear Gold Dot 90 grain 380 auto ammunition. Let's see how this goes. First we'll test the Glock 42. The Spear Gold Dot. Good. Got all 5. Do a quick review. Data review. This was the Glock 43. Glock 42, doggone it. Had a high of 964, a low of 988, a low of 941, 5-shot average of 958, 5-round average of 956. Galloway Precision. Looking at a screen grab from the high-speed footage, pretty much confirmed what I expected. The Glock 42 is very easy on recoil, so there's not going to be a huge difference in the muzzle rise. Now let's take a look at the Springfield XDS. Okay, still pretty wicked. I don't really see a huge difference in velocity. Had a high of 1,000, 5-round average, of 968, a high of 1,007, 5-round average, a low of 985. They are just hard. Looking at two screen captures from the high-speed footage, you can see that muzzle jump was very similar. I will say that the felt recoil was quite a bit less with the Galloway precision recoil spring installed. So to wrap this up, I think the biggest advantage of the Galloway precision recoil units is the reduction in felt recoil. With retail price points of $40 for the XDS and $35 for the Glock 42, it's kind of pricey, but if you're looking for something that's going to take some of the bite out of recoil, the Galloway precision units might be for you. Thanks for watching.